Today I'm going to go over growing blueberries. This is a rabbit eye variety blueberries, and I'm going to go over why I think everybody should be growing blueberries, and they're really not hard to grow. There's actually by far the easiest plant that we grow for food production in our entire yard are these blueberry bushes. Now we have four of them. We originally had five. One had died, I think, the first year that we had it. Like I said, we've had this maybe about 5 years, which four is just fine because honestly, these four are too big for this area anyway, but that's okay. We'll keep them pruned. These are a rabbit eye variety, which is the most recommended variety to grow in the southeast. They're actually native to the southeast. North Carolina is one of the biggest producers of blueberries in the entire country. For the reason we have the right conditions for it, actually about 2 miles up the road from me, we actually have a commercial blueberry farm. Um, so I'm going to go over what I did to get these blueberries started and go over where the best place to buy them is, and definitely don't pay too much for them because if you do, you're getting ripped off. They're not expensive, and how to prepare the soil for it, and just keep it fairly short. So we originally got this. This was just obviously all grass next to the driveway, and I have a tiller. I definitely recommend everyone have a tiller if you have red clay soil. It definitely helps breaking things down. Um, so I tilled everything out, raked all the grass out, and I threw some black cow in there, just spread it out, and I also added, I believe I added some soil conditioner. Any nursery or Lowe's or Home Depot, I think they both carry it in North Carolina. All it is pine fines, which is really fine pine bark, and then some forest product that just helps break up the soil a little bit, and that's cheap. It's like $3 a bag. Um, so kind of to spread that out, tilled it in. I also added a bag of aluminum sulfite. It's probably about 4 or 5 pounds. The brand is High Yield. They make a lot of like really potent like fertilizers and stuff like that. Blueberries love acidic soil. We already have acidic soil here, but they love really, really acidic soil. And aluminum sulfite will help drop that pH down faster than just using plain sulfur. Now, after I did my initial tilling, I've never added aluminum sulfite after that. I only used it one time, and since then I just apply regular organic sulfur every year. So anyway, so tilled this out, raked it out, put the black cow, put the soil conditioner in there, threw the whole bag of aluminum sulfite, filled it in real well, mixed it, put 5 bushes in. I only have four now. I originally had four different types of varieties. That's what the nursery had. So I got one of each, and then one was a double. I can't tell you which they were exactly because I don't remember which ones were what. Um, so I don't know which one actually died. What I can tell you, I know I bought some Climax, which is really popular variety. I bought a Premier, really popular variety, and I bought a powdery blue. The other ones I don't remember. And one I do know that I still know the variety is the one at the very left of me. You can't see it right now because I'm focused on these two ones that are larger. The powdery blue at the very end, it stands out because, well, the blueberry kind of looks kind of powdery. So I know for a fact that's a powdery blue down there. Um, I don't know. I noticed a tremendous difference in taste between these blueberries. Um, not much. I will say that the powdery blue down there definitely comes in a little bit later than these over here, which is nice. I mean, we have blueberries for like fresh blueberries for almost a 2 month, if not a 3 month span, and you can actually stretch it out farther than that because they have rabbit eye varieties that are considered more early season, mid season, and then late season, and you could have blueberries just come in for 3 months straight of fresh blueberries, and they freeze really well, which is what we did with ours. I mean, last year we just had an absolute tremendous amount of blueberries. This year we probably are going to have a crop about 50% of last year's, and that's because we had two very late freezes, 2 nights in a row down into the mid 20s. Could live out in the county. It gets even a little bit colder than the city areas, and it was pretty devastating. And but they pulled through. I didn't lose all my blossoms. I only lost about half, as you can see all the fruit set behind me. But if it wasn't for that, there'd be so many here be pulling the branches down. Now they do look a little messy. We did prune them up a little bit in the winter, and they just exploded this year from organic fertilizer and some more sulfur. And I'm not really going to be trimming them any right now because I said they do have all the blueberries on them, but I will be thinning them out in the winter a little bit. But anyway, so they're not nearly as hard as people make them out to be. Get them in the ground, you know, water them in really well, put mulch on them. One of the best tips I can say for blueberries, either mulch or pine needles, they have very shallow roots. Most acid-loving plants do. Blueberries have shallow roots. Their roots are, while the roots are right at the surface, or like right under that soil level. They do not want to compete with other things. If you put them around a bunch of grass or a bunch of weeds, it is going to hinder blueberries tremendously because that grass is going to be sending roots below the blueberry roots. It's going to be pulling everything away from them, weeds or whatever. So wherever you plant your blueberries, do it in an area where you can either keep mulch on them. I use pine mulch, pine bark mulch, or use pine needles, whatever you prefer, but just keep them mulched or pine needled and keep grass and weeds away from them. Okay, it will make a tremendous difference in health of your blueberry plants. A rabbit eye variety is probably the easiest variety to grow. They are extremely disease free. These are done completely organically, except for that first initial feeding of aluminum sulfite when I first planted them to drop the pH. Other than that, they're completely organically. I use nothing but organic fertilizer. I apply organic sulfur every year. I use absolutely no pesticides. I use no herbicides. I use no fungicides on any of this stuff right here. Completely organically. They are not sprayed with absolutely nothing. They have no disease problems. I have zero issues with bugs. I do not cover them for the birds. I have a few birds. Yeah, when they get real ripe, they'll peck a few off. They eat so few of them, I don't notice a difference. And I really don't care if they eat some anyway. I mean, I froze so many blueberries last year, it was ridiculous. Um, Rabbit eye varieties, when you plant them, you really don't have to even worry about even the idea of pruning them for the first 5 years. They really are so trouble free. And once they start to age, and one thing another pro of rabbit eye blueberry varieties is that they last long. They have a lifespan of 20, 25 plus years. They will live longer than any other type of blueberry variety. After about 5 or 6 years, some of your older canes, that's how blueberries grow. They keep sending up new shoots every year out of the ground, and those canes go from green to woody, and they keep getting thicker and thicker. Eventually, your oldest canes are eventually going to get old. They're going to get slow, and they're just not going to be producing a whole lot they're not going to be very productive. So in the wintertime, you clip that oldest canes at the bottom and you allow those new ones to grow. And some people only keep like 5 to 8 canes at the most coming out. I definitely probably have more than that. I'll admit I kind of let my plants of whatever I grow get a little on the bushy side. I'm not a big pruner. I kind of always prune out the dead material and stuff like that. But these definitely will get pruned because I don't want them running into each other like they are right now. I want them to kind of spread out away from the ground. I want them to spread back, up, and then away. So I will be cleaning them out a little bit in the winter for sure. I always do try to. I did clean up the bottoms this year. You couldn't tell by looking at it, but we did clean out the bottoms this year because they were quite the mess, and I don't like laying down on my stomach and picking blueberries. But yeah, it's probably a little bit of a rant on this video. I don't know exactly what people would be interested in, but if you have any questions about growing rabbit eye blueberries, because that is what I've grown, and I don't know if I could really comment on southern high bush other than I know that they don't have the lifespan. They need more pruning and are not nearly as disease resistant as the rabbit eye variety. But if you have any questions about the rabbit eye blueberries or how they get started or anything like that, I did forget one thing I should cover: price. Okay, look, I got these out of a local nursery. It's called Carolina Gardens. It's on the outskirts of Greensboro, North Carolina. It's on Randleman Road, and I think I paid $10 a plant. Yeah, sounds about right. $10 a plant, so 5 plants, $50. Yep. Okay. You'll sometimes see them for $15, $20, $25. If they look healthy, it's a really good nursery. I'd say, you know what? Okay, but do not order blueberries online and pay some crazy thing of like $80 a plant, a bush, or $40, say it's only $30, but then you got to pay $20 for shipping or something like that. You're getting absolutely ripped off. Blueberries are not an expensive plant to buy. Any good nursery should, especially in the South, should have blueberry bushes. Sometimes Lowe's and Home Depot have blueberry bushes. Um, it's perfectly okay. I bought them small. They were like 1 gallon size blueberries, and I mean they exploded in the first couple of years. And I can honestly say, people say, okay, you're supposed to take, all of the blossoms off the first year, because I planted them in the fall. I normally almost try to plant everything in the fall. And the first year came and they had blossoms on them, and did I take them off? No. Did I get some blueberries that first year? I did. They say it's not recommended because it takes energy away from the plant, may not do as well. I've never done that with anything. I'm not forgiving to plants like that. Um, so yeah, I just let them do their thing, and every spring, kind of like I guess like mid-spring, when I notice they start getting a little leafy and they start getting a little growth, I pull all that mulch back and I give them some fertilizer. I use Hollytone. Hollytone, it's kind of a famous fertilizer. It's organic, but Hollytone is used for any type of acid-loving plant because hollies like acidic soil, azaleas, and so forth. But that's what I use in my blueberries. They also have a product called Berry Tone. It's the same company. I swear it's the exact same product. They make a lot of different stuff, for that. They want to increase their market, but based on what I read on the back of the contents of the package, they were both the exact same product. You can use either or, whatever available in your area. Normally in Hollytone, you can buy it in a bigger bag, and you definitely save money by buying it in a bigger bag. So I use Hollytone fertilizer or some type of other organic acid-loving plant fertilizer every year, one time. I also apply some sulfur around the plant at the same time I fertilize, and I put that mulch pack around the base of the plant, and that's it. The only other fertilizer they get is I'm fertilizing my flowers around here that I do every year. I got 36 begonias that go around. I do that every year. They do really well. And I give them some, little organic fertilizer when I plant them, and I put some fish fertilizer several times a year out, and I'm sure the blueberry roots get some of that. But other than that, that's the only fertilizer they get. So anyway, I hope this helps y'all. Sorry if it was kind of like a little bit of a, off topic there and there. Um, but if y'all have any questions or whatever, or very specifics that you want on blueberries, like a particular problem, or I can, make a video about that and really narrow that down instead of just going on and on about stuff. All right. Anyway, I hope y'all have a good day.